All right, we're back on cause number 2020-74602 in the interest of Mariah and Michaela Slaughter. For the court is the non-custodial parent, Father Marcus Slaughter Jr., and the custodial parent, Kendra Bogany, and the Assistant Attorney General. We have an original petition and a suit affecting parent-child relationship with an acknowledgement of paternity, and we're having a hearing. Is that correct, Ms. Jeffries?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Do we have any stipulations?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
What are the issues going to be?
The issue is going to be, Your Honor, joint managed conservatorship versus sole managed conservatorship in this case.
Okay. Let's read the stipulations into the record.
Yes, Your Honor. The parties have stipulated that the child support in this case shall be $534 beginning September 1st, 2021. Parties have stipulated that the medical support shall be $160 beginning September 1st, 2021. Parties have stipulated or agreed to a standard possession order in this case. However, the pickup and drop off shall be at the IKEA located at 7810 Katy Freeway, Houston, Texas, 77024. Parties have agreed to a geographical restriction to Harris and contiguous counties, with the custodial parent, Ms. Bogany, being the parent with the right to determine where the children will reside. Parties have agreed that Mr. Slaughter shall pay the court costs as billed the court costs as billed. Parties have also agreed that Mr. Bogany shall pay a retroactive judgment in the amount of $5,351, and that the payout on that, Your Honor, shall be $77 beginning September 1st of 2021. That is all the stipulations so far, Your Honor.
All right. So far, Mr. Slaughter, is that your agreement?
Yes.
And so far, Ms. Bogany, is that your agreement?
Yes.
All right. So the issue is whether the mother should be appointed sole managing conservator or whether the parent should be appointed joint managing conservators. Is that my understanding, Ms. Jeffries?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
All right, let's proceed.
Thank you. The state calls Kendra Bogany. Ms. Bogany, how many children do you have, ma'am?
2.
All right, and what are your 2 children's names, ma'am?
Mariah Slaughter and Michaela Slaughter.
All right, and the father of your 2 children is who?
Marcus Slaughter Jr.
Okay. Now, as far as your relationship with Mr. Slaughter, how would you describe your relationship with him?
We have no communication.
Okay. And what was the breakdown in communication for you 2?
I'm sorry?
What was the breakdown in communication for you 2? When did you stop communicating?
Just the children, just the incident from last year, when the kids are around, still some type of cause of concern.
Okay. We'll come back to that, but when's the last time you spoke to Mr. Slaughter?
Would this be like anything, like text messages, phone calls?
Okay, but when? When's the last time you texted?
No, I'm asking, is that like all of
it could be
that?
text, phone call, whatever the mode of communication was.
It was text message. He sent one on today, but there wasn't any backwards and forth. He sent one for asking to speak to the kids.
Okay.
Give me one. Oh, do you need the dates or no? I have the date.
Just give me the last date that you guys talked. You said today, correct?
No, ma'am. I didn't speak to him today. He sent text message today.
Okay.
The last time he texted for the kids was August 6th.
Okay. Okay. Of 2021, ma'am?
Ma'am.
Was that 2021, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. August
Okay.
6th.
Okay, who makes the decisions regarding the children, the day-to-day decisions?
Myself. The kids live
Okay.
with me.
If the children needs to go to a doctor's appointment, who would take them?
Me.
All right, if they had an
The
issue
mother.
at school, if they had an issue at school, who resolved the issue at school?
Me. The mother.
Okay, and you and Mr. Slaughter are not together, is that correct, ma'am?
That's correct.
And have you and Mr. Slaughter ever been living in the same household together?
Outside of last year or last year, so last time. Not since then. No, ma'am.
Okay, but at one point you did live together in the same household with the children, is that correct?
Yes.
Here, it's
Up
got-
until
Okay.
August 20th.
Okay, and so when you guys did live together, who made the day-to-day decisions regarding your children?
Me, the mother.
Okay, and how would you say your the Mrs. Slaughter's relationship is with the two girls?
I mean, when he's around them, he's usually just playing the game. They do want him to get up and get active with them, but I have to initiate that for him to get up and get active with the kids. He's not active with them unless, again, I'm initiating him to be active with the kids.
Okay. Has he ever reached out to be a part of the decision making regarding the girls?
No, ma'am.
All right. And what issue would you have if the court were to appoint you to make decisions with Mr. Slaughter?
I just feel like he don't make the right decision when it comes to my kids.
Okay. And when you say the right decisions, what exactly do you mean, ma'am?
As far as taking them somewhere, he have to take them somewhere. As far as like doctor's appointments and dentist appointments, I just feel like he don't make the right decision when it comes to their care, when it comes to daycare wise, because he's only worried about the money. He's not worried about the quality of care that the kids receive.
So if you don't think that you and Mr. Slaughter could co-parent, is that what you're testifying to?
I'm saying that when it comes to the kids, his decision is not in the care of what they need. His decisions is in the care of what goes on in his pocket, and not in the care of all the best decision of the kids.
Okay. Now you mentioned an incident that happened with the girls a while back. What incident are you referring to, ma'am?
The sexual allegations that was made against the father when CPS was involved.
Okay. And what sexual allegations were made against the father, Mr. Slaughter?
Touching his daughter.
Okay. And who made the allegation?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Touching his daughter in inappropriate places.
All right.
He actually initiated the CPS call. And when he initiated the CPS call, he started saying that someone I was speaking to was touching a girl, but the person that he's referring to has never even met the kids. You can show them a picture and they would know who he is because he's never met them ever. So that was pretty strange to me.
Okay. And I just want to walk it back a little bit. Who made the allegation that the child was being touched inappropriately?
Well, that's what was being determined, was that something inappropriate was going on between him and his child. Before I could make the decision to take her to the doctor to see what was going on, he actually called the CPS. And that's what took it to a whole different level.
Okay. And so which daughter is this, just so the court will know?
The 8-year-old, Mariah Slaughter, the oldest.
Okay. And what was the outcome of that CPS investigation?
The paperwork was supposed to have been mailed to me, and I never received the paperwork, and they told me that I could pick up the paperwork from the downtown location. Again, I don't have that phone, and I don't have that phone number, so I didn't have the information to actually call the CPS worker that was on the case, because all her information was in that phone. So I was going to take her to Texas Children to get a more understanding of what's going on with her today psychologically. And I wasn't able to obtain a appointment because of the COVID.
Okay. But to your knowledge, you don't know if the CPS is currently open or closed.
It's closed. That's
It's
the last
closed.
that I heard of it. Yes.
Okay. And did you read any findings regarding that CPS investigation? Did they tell you anything outside of the fact that it was closed?
No, she told me that I would need to wait on that document. And she told me the last thing when I talked to her, she told me to, if I don't obtain the document, that I can go to the downtown location and pick it up. But again, I don't have that phone no more to get in contact with her and to reach out to her and see what that address is. Because
Okay.
I don't know what location it is downtown.
Okay. And you believe it's in the best interest of your two children that you be appointed as the parent to make the decision making regarding them. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I have nothing further for this witness, Sean. I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Slaughter, do you have any questions for Ms. Bogany?
Not necessarily for her.
Well, no. Okay, right now is the time only that the only thing you can do right now is ask her a question if you want to. She's on the witness stand. I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm going to give you an opportunity to say something if you wish later on. But right now, if you have any questions, you can ask her at this time.
Okay. Once you felt like somebody was touching Mariah, the oldest one, why didn't you immediately take her to the emergency room or call CPS yourself to get it handled? Why did you wait to tell me if you felt like I was the accuser or the person that did it?
So that was the plan. The plan was to take her to the doctor. I had already had the doctor's appointment. We have already discussed this. I had the doctor's appointment for her to go. When all of this happened, remember, COVID was raging out of control, so you had to make appointments for anything that wasn't COVID related. So I had already had her an appointment. You took it upon yourself to call CPS. When you call CPS, you made allegations towards someone that's never been around the kids. Instead of just expressing to me what you expressed or what you expressed to me today, you didn't express that to them. You went to them and you said that someone else was touching on her. Instead of just saying,
No,
I don't know where she's getting this allegation from.
Wait. Okay, Ms. Bogany, you're getting way beyond the answer to the question. All right. Mr. Slaughter, do you have another question for her?
yes, and the only reason why I accused the other man, Isaiah,
Objection, Your Honor.
he was
It's not a
talking to him.
question.
Is this a question, Mr. Slaughter?
Yes, I was asking him, did she talk to Isaiah Douglas that is known as a pedophile?
Okay. You have an answer for that, Ms. Bogany?
No, I wasn't aware.
Okay. Ms. Slaughter?
CPS made it aware.
In 2018, I let you know I showed you proof in his rap sheet in 2018 when we first initially broke up.
What is the question, sir? What is the question? You're making a statement there.
Okay. I was on a question. I just don't understand. I don't understand this the decision making. Why do you feel like I'm not capable of making the right decision for a child if I call CPS and that was the right decision to do?
Ms. Bogany,
Yes.
why do you think that he cannot make the decisions for the child if he was the one that called CPS and so forth?
Because I was going to take care of that myself.
Well, why
And
did
it
you
was
take
already taken care of and it was already handled. And again, you said the emergency room, but with COVID raging out of control, I had already tried to take their route. They were still saying that I would have to bring her in on an appointment. That's why she had an appointment.
Okay, but the question was, why do you think he should not be involved in making the decisions for the child?
Okay, I just don't feel like he makes the right decisions when it comes, because he's never made any decisions. The last decisions that he's made has always been the cheaper route to something instead of quality route to my kids' health care or anything else that's dealing with them.
All right, Mr. Slaughter, another question?
Whose decision was it to move to Montgomery County so Mariah can go to a better school instead of going to the school in Spring?
I would not be able to answer that. I don't understand your question. I apologize.
Who made
Well,
the decision to move to Rayford Edge so Mariah can go to a school that was 8 out of 10 instead of a school that was 2 or 4 out of 10 at the time?
Well, Rayford's Edge was my decision. Remember,
As I recall, I don't believe Rayford Edge was your decision because you want to leave.
I'm sorry, sir. Not sorry.
Objection, Your Honor.
That's not a question.
I'm
Not a
sorry.
question.
Not a question. I'm going to let you make a statement later, but right now, the only thing you can do is ask her a question. Any other questions?
Did you continue talking to Isaiah Douglas after you knew that he was a pedophile or a sex offender?
I've had no contact with him.
I'm sorry, what was the answer, ma'am?
I've had no contact with him.
Oh, okay.
So when's the last time you contacted him?
I do apologize. It's been some months ago, so I don't know.
Months ago? That's your answer?
I'm sorry. How did all of this fit into the what's going on so we can proceed and conclude today?
Okay, you haven't talked to him months ago. But the question earlier was, I told, did you talk to him in 2018? And if you're saying months ago, that means you just recently talked to him. Is that correct?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. I'm just trying to understand the relevance here, what Mr. Slaughter is trying to get to.
It's the decision making. Like she says, I make bad decisions. I just like, so if you're talking to a sex offender, you have some kids.
I understand. I understand. So the question is, when did you last talk to that gentleman, Miss Bogany?
That was through CPS.
When was the last time you talked to the gentleman?
September 2020 through CPS.
All right. Another question, Mr. Slaughter.
Why did you reach out to him?
Okay, so if you wasn't hearing me, it was through CPS. They wanted me to get in contact with him so they can ask some questions to him, or they wanted me to give him the number so they can ask some questions from him.
I don't understand. Why would CPS need you to talk to him first before they investigate him?
I did not talk to him first. I never said that. And what's your relevance to the case?
The relevance of the case is the decision makings that you're making on why I feel like you do not deserve decisions for the kids.
So you have a question? Is there a question there, Ms. Slaughter?
No, I have more questions.
I'm sorry?
No, sir, I have no questions.
I didn't understand the question.
No, I said I don't have no questions.
Oh, you don't have any further questions. All right. Ms. Jeffries, call your next witness.
Thank you. The state calls Martha Slaughter. Mr. Slaughter, how many children do you have before the court today, sir?
2.
All right. And what are your 2 children's names?
Mariah Slaughter and Michaela Slaughter.
All right. And how would you describe your relationship with Ms. Bogany?
Recently, since it's on and off. It's just sporadic when she decides not to talk to me or not let me see the kids. When we do talk, we have a good time. We even come around each other. We had even have relations. She's invited me to her house. I ate dinner at her house. I spent the night at her house. Same at my house. She came over to my house and spent the night at my house also. I feel like we have a good relationship. Like when we're in person, it's just when we're not around each other, like something happens, and that's where the miscommunication comes from.
Okay. And you mentioned you spent the night with Miss Bogany. When's the last time that you were, I guess, hanging out with her?
The weekend before the court hearing of last June. She spent the night at my house that weekend.
Okay. And since that day, have you guys hung out together?
No, not after the last court hearing, we haven't hung out together.
Okay. And how do you guys normally communicate to each other, with each other?
We'll talk on the phone, or you talking about recently or past?
Just in general, regarding the children, how do you guys normally communicate?
Over the phone or in person. I meet her at the Walmart on 45 or the IKEA, or sometimes her job, and we'll communicate and talk.
Okay. And how would you describe your relationship with your children?
I have a great relationship with the kids. I take them to events like Urban Air, Dave and Buster's, Chuck E. Cheese, the park. We play video games together. Fortnite is one of the games me and Mariah play together a lot. We fly helicopters with each other. So I'm very active in their lives. I try to make it to all their school events, their doctor's appointments before COVID. I took them to the dentist appointment majority of the time when they was going to Spring Dentistry out here on off of Rayford.
Okay. And if you needed to communicate with your children, how would you communicate with them?
But recently, by phone, sometimes Mariah would text me, or I have to ask Kendra if I can talk to them.
Okay. And in your mind, or in your opinion, who makes the day-to-day decisions regarding these two girls?
As recently, since I haven't had the girls, Kendra's been making the decisions, and she would tell me, hey, I put them in this daycare, and this daycare costs this amount of money. So it'd be like $300 a week for that daycare, and I tried to, tell her like, hey, we don't need a daycare. Have somebody else watching the kids while COVID is going on, because my mom can watch the kids and my grandma can watch the kids. My mom or my grandma does not work, and the kids love my mom and their great grandma a lot, and that's how it's just it is a cheaper route, and I just feel like it's a better route for the kids to be around family instead of random kids that could or could not have COVID. I was just looking for the best interests of them during these COVID times, not to put them in daycare. And since Mariah had homeschooling, my nephew also has homeschooling too. They can do homeschooling together. They're only a year apart.
Okay.
And then there's a parent, my grandma or.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. This is turning into a narrative.
All right. Just stand.
Okay.
All right. And so when you guys lived together, because Ms. Bogany testified that you guys were living together up until 2020 of August, when you guys were in the same household, did you make decisions together then, like regarding the children?
Yes. Like made decisions on.
That's the answer. That's the answer. Is yes.
Okay. And today, do you believe it's in the best interest of the children that you make decisions together, or that she should be the parent that makes the decisions?
No, we should make decisions together.
Okay. And if you needed to communicate with her, you think that you guys could do that smoothly?
On my end, yes, I can. I can't speak on her end.
All right. Now, she mentioned the allegation about CPS involving your oldest daughter. To your knowledge, what was the outcome of that CPS case?
It was ruled out. I have the paperwork showing that it's ruled out, and there was no foul play or no sexual abuse, neither done to Mariah or Michaela.
Okay. And you received documents from Child Protective Services to say that?
Yes.
All right, Your Honor, at this time, I'm going to offer into evidence what is marked as State's Exhibit B. It is a letter from the Texas Department of Family Protective Services regarding the investigation involving Mr. Marcus Slaughter and the daughter in this case. So I would like to offer that as evidence.
Ms. Bogany, have you had an opportunity to see that letter?
No, sir.
Is that correct, Ms. Jeffries?
All exhibits were sent to Ms. Bogany via email before this hearing started, Your Honor.
Have you looked into your email, Ms. Bogany, to see if they've sent you something?
I apologize for going back to my email. I did receive it via email.
All right. Do you have any objections of admitting that into evidence?
No, sir.
All right. State's Exhibit B, did you say?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. State's Exhibit B is admitted.
All right. And so, Mrs. Slaughter, that document, it has both your children's names on it, correct? Michaela and Mariah. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct.
And all right. I'm speaking to Mrs. Slaughter. So, Mr. Slaughter, that and the date on that document is the mailing date is August 18th. Well, I'm sorry, June 16th of 2021. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And is this from the incident stemming from 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And to your knowledge, again, it showed that you were ruled out as the person who was responsible for possible sexual molestation.
Oh, wait a minute. Mom's not on.
Okay.
I don't know what happened here. All right. Do you have any way of communicating with her?
Yeah, and I can try and call her.
All right.
Give me 1 second, please.
Sure.
Your Honor, she got kicked off. She should be logging back in momentarily.
All right.
All right, Ms. Bogany, can you hear us, ma'am? Ms. Bogany, if you can hear the court, can you please acknowledge, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. I just got back in. I apologize.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Slaughter, the last question I was just asking you is that document is the document you received from them to say that the allegation of sexual assault against your oldest and your youngest was ruled out. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And on this same form, the Isaiah Douglas that you both are speaking out about, he was also ruled out. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And did you receive any other document from the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services regarding this case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what was the other document you received?
Just the paper I sent you and the second paper. Those two papers.
All right. Your Honor, the state would like to offer an evidence what is marked as State's Exhibit C. It's just a request for removal of role information. Just says that anybody who is investigated and ruled out, they request that their information be removed from all particular investigations. We would like to offer that into evidence.
Ms. Bogany, have you had an opportunity to look at that exhibit?
Yes, I'm looking at it now. I do apologize. Because the only two that I see is the one from the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. It has both Isaiah Douglas and Marcus Slaughter name on it. And it was saying it
Wha-
ruled
wha-
out, and the other one that I'm seeing was same one, same document. And then the last one that I'm seeing is the request for removal of role information, which has
Yes,
Tony Marcus
yes,
in
that's the
mind.
one she's talking about. Yeah.
Okay, yes, I see that one.
You have any problem with it admitting that into evidence? Legal
No, I did
objection.
not.
All right, State's Exhibit C is admitted.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. And so, Mr. Slaughter, based on the CPS finding that you are not, or at that time you were not the person who abused your children, you think it's in the best interest of the children that you still be appointed as a joint managing conservator with Ms. Bogany?
Yes.
All right, and you think that it's in the best interest of the children that you have a part in the decision making?
Yes.
All right, and do you think there's anything that will hinder you two being able to co-parent?
No, no, ma'am.
All right. I have nothing further for this witness, Sean. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Bogan, do you have any questions for Mr. Slaughter?
I do not.
All right. There's not a non-disclosure request here, is there?
No, there's not. She agreed, Your Honor. I'm sorry, I did not mention that. She agreed that her address should not be disclosed. That it was okay to be disclosed. She just wants pick up and drop off to occur at the IKEA. That's what the parties had already been doing.
And that's agreeable with you, Mr. Slaughter, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Anything further, Ms. Jeffries?
No, Your Honor. I have nothing further.
Anything further, Mr. Slaughter?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further, Ms. Bogan?
No, sir.
Okay, hold on a second. All right, court orders parents to be appointed joint managing servitors. All other stipulations are approved. Thank you.
May we be
Excused. Yes.
Mr. Slaughter and Ms.